Attack the enemy! Victory is ours!
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back for some more mid to high tier French tank gameplay from the 18th of February 2018. This will be the first really overwhelming kind of battle I had in my Lorraine 40t, and it's quite a fun tank to drive. For my own personal tank lineup, this ended up being a second rank tank for me, so to speak, because I would always spawn the AMX 50 first, and then the Lorraine was my backup to it. So it was never my primary medium tank to use, but it was a very good backup. It's a very good primary, too. I just had the AMX 50 and used that more often. So pretty standard tactic here for me, or any map that has a pair of bridges for each side. Right around the time you're nearing the bridge yourself, put artillery on the enemy's bridge, and probably get yourself a couple of hits to indicate that an enemy team is coming in, and it'll spot them. I decided to come around the side of the A point here rather than go straight in for it and see if I could catch some enemies coming in and being all sneaky like. Our team captures the A point pretty quickly. Now, I didn't get any artillery hits on the bridge, but it does work pretty often. I heard somebody take a little plank hit over here to my right, so I'm swinging over here to investigate it. And what do I find? But I find that I have out-sneakied the sneaky. And there's kill number 1. Now, I heard somebody else knocking down a bunch of rubble and stuff over here. I wasn't sure what that had come from, so I'm going to go investigate this and make sure that there weren't more than one leopard sneaking around this way. It doesn't appear that there were. And I'm pretty sure that was friendly artillery from back at our spawn, which was fine. It didn't do any real damage to me. So coming back in to investigate the sightings on the A point that I had seen, off to the side of the A point, and a teammate starts calling for help, so speeding as fast as I can speed in the 40T over here to help him out. And it always never hurts to let your team know that you're coming and responding to their calls for help either. As we come around the corner here, what do we find but a Tiger 2? Along with a Leopard. Now, due to the amount of machine gunning going on to the right, I thought there might have been more enemies over there, but then they stopped, and I realized, okay, it was just the 2 of these guys. Now, you can see some sort of SPG being marked on the hill up there, but it turns out it was the JPZ-45 that just got killed by the STRV-81. So everybody seems to be okay here. A Jagdpanther just killed the STRV, but otherwise everyone seems to be alright here. They seem to have things fairly well covered up north of the A point, so I'm going to go and investigate things off to B. After I put artillery on what I presume is the Jagdpanther that just killed the STRV. Take a quick peek up there just to see where he is, and I spot a Leopard in a little valley. There's kill number 3, Leopard number 2. You can see probably the Jagdpanther getting marked up there, but I figure our team's got it covered well enough. And my artillery is hitting. I notice smoke from a gunfire over here. Get a few hits. There's a DO-335 up. Also, there's smoke again, and I notice that my random squad mate in the T-95 is taking hits and calling for help over here. And realize, yep, that's what our Leopard has been shooting at. So, get up behind him. And kill number 4, Leopard number 3 for the battle is taken out. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you look at it, my teammate's repair time was so short but I didn't have time to even get there and help him, so I didn't even try. He was going to be repaired long before I even got to him. So, squad mate saved. Let's head for B. Enemy air is up, which I'm a bit concerned about, but so far this battle is going pretty well. 4 kills with 4 shots. Can't really argue with that. At this point, my tank commander realized that his beloved Lorraine 40t was getting a bit filthy, so it was time to take her through the drive-thru car wash and freshen the old girl up a little bit for the dance. So clearly there's quite a lot of shooting going on. If you look at the mini-map, you can kind of tell that most of the enemy strength that's left is focused over towards C. And I take a pretty bad hit here that sets me on fire, knocks out a couple of my crew. But thankfully, Emor Tiger there in the AMX-30 DCA does what you should do in an SPAA. He can't do much to help kill the guy that's hitting me, but he throws up a whole bunch of dirt, which allows me to get a counter shot off, which takes out most of his turret crew and sets him on fire and allows me to repair and reload. So thank you, I really appreciate that. Knock out Leopard number 5 for the battle, or 4 for the battle rather, and hold J for a second just to verify that he was in fact the guy that damaged me, and he was, so thank you AMX-30 DCA for throwing up a bunch of dirt in front of him and allowing me to swap out my gunner and get return fire on him. Otherwise, I very likely would have been dead from his follow-up shot. There's a mouse. I get a shot at him that had not much chance of penetrating, but the slight benefit was it was the last round in the magazine. So now while I'm stuck here repairing, I at least get the long reload started before I get up there and re-engage enemy tanks. So I've got a bit of ground to cover here to get up to where the enemy is. But it's pretty clear now from the mini-map that the bulk of their strength remaining is fighting at C. So that's where I'm heading, and I'm trying to come in and catch them from the side here. Relieve some of the stalemate pressure. Luckily, we have quite a few guys defending the C point ourselves. So it kind of keeps the enemy over here in a bit of a tight position where they are locked in a stalemate, and we've got a pincer move coming in from their side that they surely have to be expecting, but their focus is on the tanks in front of them, as it is not really surprising. So I hear a big 128 gunfire. I'm not sure whether it's the mouse or the Yag Tiger, but somebody has said that there's a Yag Tiger up there too, so I'm letting the guys know that I'm coming in on them from the side as someone sneaks in behind us at the A point, but we've got enough people back over at A that they can deal with it. So here an airplane coming. Looking at the mini-map, there are no friendly-looking airplanes coming, being marked on the map, so I can't... I'm assuming that's a hostile. As I start making my way towards expected contact up here. Unfortunately, the Yag Tiger got marked right after, or right as I fired my artillery there, but now that he's been marked, I'm going to turn and move in and see if I can come up, at least from his side, if not behind him. And sure enough, there he is, just off to the left. Take my time, make sure I'm going to hit his breach. Got his gunner and his breach, so that's good. If nothing else, he's out of the fight for a moment. And then I finish him off with taking out the rest of his crew a moment later. So there's still the mouse to be dealt with here, as I've got kill number 6 locked up in my... And I take some pretty bad strafing there, which at least marked me, if not caused any real damage to me. And these shots you hear are coming from a jet, and that's a problem because since you couldn't hear the boom boom of the 50 mil, that means it's a Horton, and that is scary. Got a good hit, knocked out a crew member, and damaged the transmission on the mouse. Go back to take out his breach, and get a non-pen. So, line back up for the hull again. Set him on fire. And then lose my own breach from the Horton. So, back off to get into cover, start my repair, and with a 40-second repair, I'm pretty sure that's real bad news for with a Horton overhead. Who knows where I am and is doing his best to protect his mouse. So I called for anti-air, but basically it doesn't really matter. I only had 2 crew members left. So, 6 kills and some serious damage done to our friend in the mouse there. Thought about coming back in the Foch to take him out, but I realized I'd be just as vulnerable to the Horton in the Foch as I was in the Lorraine, so... Come back in the AMX-30 DCA, and if you look up at the sky, it's a very difficult color to locate the Horton. So the rest of this battle is me trying to shoot down the Horton and unsuccessfully attempting to do so. So you can watch it if you wish, just to see get a little taste for the AMX 30 DCA if you want. It's very good, but if it's... I had a lot of trouble seeing the Horton coming in here. As you'll see right here, he's low, but I didn't notice because I was looking up at the sky. So I'm trying to find him in the really bright sky here and not seeing him, which means he's a little too far away ahead of me as I finally pick him up to get shots at him. And there's the mouse committing suicide. And I somehow didn't get a score for knocking out his crew members. Because I know he didn't refresh a crew member in there, so he should have still been technically critted by having lost a crew member. Because I killed at least one of his crew members with one of my shots into the side of his hull, but I didn't get an assist or a kill on him. So that's kind of disappointing. He definitely was lined up to be my 7th kill in the Lorraine if I only could have been able to shoot him probably just one more time. So I don't know what my shots thought they were hitting there, but they apparently thought they were hitting something because they kept exploding short. Now Horton can be a really difficult target to hit with SPAA if it's side on to you. It gets awfully thin profile. I've certainly gotten plenty of kills with the AMX 30 DCA so far. I just couldn't quite range this guy in. Eventually, the enemy team starts taking the A point back from us, which I was a little worried about because I didn't know that the mouse had Jade out. Because I was expecting either a kill or a kill damage assist on the mouse. But our P-36G is going to chase off the Horton away from me, so that'll be the end of the action, essentially, here, as I'm watching for anything left. And rolling up onto the bridge to prevent anybody from capturing C. As far as I knew, the mouse was still alive. And I wanted to make sure he didn't get up into the C point and start decapping it. But he had Jade out, as you guys saw, so that was that. 6 kills with the Lorraine. Got some higher ranking vehicles on me, not too bad. 4 of them were Leopards. Quite a bit of research towards the engine for the Lorraine 40t, which makes it, of course, obviously that much better in the acceleration. Took a 2nd place there with not a terrible score. Didn't get any captures, but it certainly worked out for me. The team was all over the caps, so I didn't have to go for caps. So, quite good. Pretty much all the scoring I did there was with the Lorraine 40t. So, that'll do for today. Thank you all for stopping by and checking this one out. Short videos are always nice, especially if you don't have a lot of time to watch. So, thank you. We'll see you guys next time for more War Thunder. And as usual, everybody, please have a great day.